Hello, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these coins. I'm not your financial advisor, it's not financial advice, but we're going to have a look at Bitcoin, we're going to look at Matic and see what's going the hell on, alright? So we'll start off with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin actually just today has dropped, actually I wouldn't say considerably, but it's kind of gone in the reverse of what a lot of people anticipated. But when we stand back and have a look at some of these indicators, I mean, the MACD just wants to come down. It's been coming down. There's not been any real attempt to actually cross. So actually, it looks like there's still a little more to go, unless we turn the corner at this point now. Now we are finding significant support on this part here. This green line being the 50 EMA, and purple actually being the 50 simple. So we can see that actually that is very strong support now actually, and the problem being is that we bounced from there, we came back up, we've come back down to retest it, and now we're testing it again, and this is a 4-hourly chart, you see, so we're not making any moves higher than there. It looks to me like it actually does want to break, to be honest with you. Now if that does break, it's not the biggest problem. There is a support line just beneath that, which is here. I'll draw my little line in for you guys. That leads us to around roughly about 11,250 area, that kind of area. In fact, I'm going to put a blue box because it's a little more than that. There's two areas within that area, so we'll have it from there to 11,200. So we've got a $100 area between 11,300 and 11,200. If that breaks, we've got a psychological number of 11,000, but to be honest with you, if that does break, I mean, look where we're likely to go after there. We're all the way back down to here, which would be, that's your 11,000 area, just there. That would be our psychological number. The next area actually could be all the way down here at 10,500, and the problem being, if that does break, to be honest, we've got support here which is the 200 EMA, but if that does break there, then we are in trouble. But at the moment this is just playing out. What we've got to look at, if we look a little bit further out, we did have this descending, and we still do have this descending trend line going all the way down. This is where our tops get rejected, from there down to here, and you can see that we've got rejected heavily from there, and we've not been able to make our way above. Now, until just this move here, we've had higher lows, you see, on this staggered move up, which actually led me to believe, and I still kind of do believe, that this is going to break. It's more likely to break above here than actually break down beneath 10,500. 10,500 would be its absolute lowest point, but if that does break, we're in big trouble. We'll be back down to this big sort of support area here, this big blue box. That is 9,200, so back to where we started before this run. That's a big sell-off that we've had there, very big sell-off, and especially over the weekend, when usually the weekends are kind of like bullish by nature, so it doesn't look all that great. And there's a lot of people wanting to buy these dips, but to be honest, I'm not too interested in buying any dips right now. The only dip I'd be looking to buy would be one further back down here. Excuse me. So that's where we are with Bitcoin. So a bit of a dodgy situation. This support here is likely to break, bringing us down to here, and if that breaks, all the way back down to here, being 10,700 where it stands at the moment. Let's move on to Matic. So Matic, in the wake of Bitcoin moving the opposite way, Bitcoin and Matic seem to be doing polar opposites, really. Now that makes a lot of sense when we look at the pairing with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is looking weak. Matic is actually looking strong, considering we've had this huge sell-off here. We moved up here on the back of the Coinbase announcement. We had a big sell-off, as we kind of sort of expected, but actually now we're finding our way back up. Now this is because Bitcoin's fallen, and actually Matic has not fallen as much. So even though Matic has made some moves up, the pairing here has been accentuated. And we look at the MACD, and actually that does look like it wants to move up actually, so it wouldn't surprise me if we start to make moves up again and above here. Now this green, the green being the 50 EMA, we're above there now. If we can break above there and break above this guy here, the 200 EMA, that's around 131 satoshis. That'd be a great move. It wouldn't surprise me if we break above there, we start to see maybe not such strong bold moves as these, but a climb back up to where we actually were back up here at 177 satoshis. Now if we have a look on the USD, this is the most interesting point for me, and it's actually quite critical really. You see how we've got back here, we had this we had this death cross here, the green going beneath the white. So that's the 50 EMA going underneath the 200 EMA. What we really want to have is the reverse of that. We want to see the green cross above the white, creating a golden cross. It's on the 4-hourly chart, but we don't have much else to go by when we're talking about Matic because it's such a small chart in general. But if it does make a cross above there, that would count. If it's a decent cross, it would count as a golden cross, and golden crosses are bullish signals that would be picked up by bots and traders alike. And to be honest with you, when we're looking at Matic now, we're looking at a coin that's likely to be very successful if it goes onto the Coinbase, and if it's sold on Coinbase at the price it's at now, probably be snapped up. It would be a perfect time for it to go on as well, because US customers of Binance aren't going to be able to trade in I think it's the end of September, so not too long now. 2 months, just less than 2 months away before they're not able to trade this. So those guys are going to want to be able to stack their bags full of this, because this coin has got enormous long-term prospects. I mean, this is a great coin for the long term. You've seen how bold it moves, and let's just have a little look back in time about what the hell's gone on with this coin. This coin started down here, and basically this coin had only been out a year, and it's not even been used. It wasn't even being utilised at all. A lot of this was FOMO, but there's a reason for it being FOMO. It's not just people chucking their money, even though there has been a lot of silly money going into this big move up here. This coin, from the outset, has got a great team with some very, very well connected, networked people. I mean, it's got seed funding from Coinbase, which sounds to me like it's likely to get on Coinbase through association. So, and obviously, Ethereum needs scaling, and if they can branch out perhaps and scale with other ecosystems, which it wouldn't surprise me if they can and do in the future, this coin has got a long way to go. These prices down here will probably seem laughable when we look back at them, and these moves, as big as they are, will be little blips on a giant chart. That's my expectation of it. In the long term, though, I should let you know, in the long term, we're talking years, okay, a couple of years for that sort of big move. But when we look back at it, and now we look at where it is now, it consolidated all the way down here. We had massive sell-off here in consolidation, but we look at the indicators. The indicator looks like it wants to move up again. So I would probably say, if I was forced to say where is it going to go, I would say it's going to go up. And where is that move going to take us? Well, if we get this golden cross, this area here will be taken out pretty soon, and then up and away. To be honest with you, don't really see a problem with this one making some nice big bold moves again. We have a look at back here. If we go back in time and have a look at this chart before we had that parabolic top, see if there's any telltale signs and movements of how it moved back here. Now, we did have some bold moves. Clearly, we had some nice steady growth. But what we also saw is that we had big moves and big sell-offs. We see here, this area here, let's measure this one out. And this is before it did a parabolic top, okay, so that, oh my god, that to here, 17%, this bit here, 17%, and it's consolidated at 12%. So it's not uncommon for these kind of moves to take place. We started our move, I'd say, from here to here, 72% move. And 33. Yeah, so I mean, it's to be honest with you, this isn't out of the ordinary for a coin like Matic. To have big sell-offs. We've been having that throughout, really. So I think, to be honest with you, I think we've consolidated quite enough now, and it's time to start making big moves up again. As we can see, the indicator suggests that is going to be the case, and if we create that golden cross, well, that's the dream, isn't it? The golden cross is the dream. So I'll leave it with you there, and I will do some more coins for you guys, maybe tonight, if not definitely tomorrow. But Matic is the one that I'm looking at the moment. Certainly is probably going to be the biggest player, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's going to be the biggest player overall of all coins in general, full stop, on Binance. So I'll leave it with you there, and thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice evening. Take care.